Yeah, here we go. We'll move on to underrated. I can. I'll go first since
You go first. All right.
since you started for overrated. All right. In goal for me, I have Andre Onana. That's why I was so shocked. Um, I think he's been good. I wouldn't consider him like the best goalie in the world or like that top 3 or 4, but I think he's been pretty good this year. And I know that there was like something happened at the World Cup where he like left the squad and then retired from international play like before the games had even started, which definitely was not a great look for both him and the country. But at the club level, I think he's been really good this year, and it's kind of gone unnoticed. Um, but at the same time, he's not a world beater, and he's definitely past that point of like great youngster goalie where he once was with that Ajax team. My right back, I have Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, hear me out. Since coming back, the first half of the season just didn't play. It's not like there was some like phantom injury that they said he had for 6 months. When in reality, I think he just fell out of favor. But the World Cup happens. He's not picked for England. He comes and trains with the team. And all of a sudden, he's right back to where he was when he was at his best. And I think it's gone a little unnoticed. People know how good he is one-on-one defending. He's, in my opinion, purely one-on-one defending, he's the best in the world. And there are definitely other people in the conversation, but I think it's him. I think he's the best. And you saw it in the Cup final. You've seen it. You saw it against Crystal Palace in the Premier League a few weeks ago, where he makes that last gasp challenge on Wilfried Zaha and saves the game. He goes for a challenge. He goes down for a slide tackle, and it's like, how is he going to get to that ball? And then he gets to the ball. I think he's incredible. He's working on his offensive game. It's getting a little better. So that is enough for me to put him in the underrated XI. My right center back is Fikayo Tomori from AC Milan. He, for some reason, wasn't picked for England in the World Cup. And again, I know Maguire just for some reason for England is amazing, but he hadn't really played much the first half of the year, and Tomori was still not picked. He has won the Serie A with Milan. He's continued to play really well before and post World Cup, and I think it goes unnoticed just because he's not in the Premier League as an Englishman. I think that's probably the main reason, because it's definitely not from his play, because he's been amazing. My left center back is Araujo from Barcelona. People are starting to notice it a bit, but in Manchester, he does really well against Rashford, who's one of the most informed players in the world right now. Against Barcelona, makes Vinicius look a lot not like himself. I think he's a great star stopper, I think is the way that is the best way that I can describe him. He'll kind of shadow a team's best forward, and he'll be really, really solid. On the left, I have his teammate, Balde. He's really young, Spanish player, plays for Barcelona, getting minutes now for Barcelona in big games, and I think he's really good. I believe he's 19. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain he's 19.
I also
Yeah.
learned that he's Puerto Rican too.
Oh, nice.
So he has that U.S. citizenship, basically.
Yeah, he could technically. Yeah, I think he's really good. I think he's going to get even better, but right now he's already this good and definitely a bit unnoticed for me. moving on to the midfield. First player, bit of bias because of the country he's from, but my defensive midfielder is Tyler Adams. And I've talked about it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it 1,000 times. I still believe it. I think he's one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. You watch Leeds play, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. And I know Leeds are struggling, but one player can't carry a team, and especially as a defensive midfielder, he's okay getting up the field, but in terms of build-up play and defending, he's amazing. I think he's great. Captained the U.S. at the World Cup, played amazing for them, and has played great for Leeds as well. Doesn't really have bad games. It's only every once in a while. Always seems to be really, really good. My central midfielder is Yuri Tielemans from Leicester City. I've wanted United to get him the last 2 transfer windows, and there were rumors about it, and it never happened. But I think he's great. He consistently plays pretty well, and the goals and assists aren't there. But he's more of a holding midfielder. Great, really essential to Leicester when they're doing well, and I think you'll see he just picked up an injury. I still wanted to put him on the list or in my lineup. But yeah, I think you'll see a big drop off in that midfield without him. My final midfielder, and someone that I probably could have put in the under 21 lineup that we did, is Florian Wirtz from Leverkusen. He's really young, and I think he's going to be phenomenal. And I think the reason he's gone a bit unnoticed this year is because he picked up an injury early in the season and just kind of came back and started to play a bit in the Bundesliga as well as the Europa League. But he's been amazing. I mean, since he's came back, and in their latest Europa League game, he was the man of the match, scored a goal, played basically every minute of the game, and helped them win and helped them advance on penalties. Moving on to the attack, I'm going to start on the right, and you might see a little bit more bias now. It's Antony. I know some people will easily put him in the overrated starting, overrated XI, but I think you just kind of have to watch him play. And I know he gets labeled as like, oh, the fidget spinner or whatever. He's got great skills. I think the reason that I put him here is because when he picked up a little injury and was out, there was such a steep drop in how their attack molded together. I think he's super essential to the team, and it just kind of gets unnoticed because he had that big price tag, and everyone thinks he has to score 20 goals this year. He needs 30 goals and assists. Like, yeah, I think he's overhated and a little underrated because of that. My left wing, he's starting to get noticed now this season, but I've liked him a lot this entire year. I'm gonna butcher his name. He's from Georgia, plays for Napoli. Kvaratskhelia, something like that. That's the only time I'm gonna say his name. He is just he's amazing. I mean, he has over 10 goals and over 10 assists this year. He puts the numbers out every single game with Osimhen. He's just so good, and you see how clear Napoli are in the Serie A, and it's because of those two guys. And Osimhen just has he's really rated. He's gonna go and get sold in the summer for what, over 100 million. But I think this guy um, he's kind of plays second fiddle when he should really be at the exact same level because he is incredible. And up top, I have Dusan Vlahovic. People haven't talked about him since he's made that move to Juventus, and he's been good for Juventus. He's a great goal scorer, did well in the World Cup. I know Serbia didn't make it out of the group stage, but I thought he was really good for them. I know he scored a goal in their last game. He scores goals for Juventus. I think he's really important for their team, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move to one of the bigger clubs in a different league soon. To run through my team briefly, I have Andre Onana, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Fikayo Tomori, Araujo, Alex Baldi, Tyler Adams, Yuri Tielemans, Florian Wirtz, Anthony Dusan Vlahovic, and that guy from Napoli, Kvaratskhelia or something. Yeah, it's my team.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick with you after I do my lineup.
Okay. All right.
Let me see. Do I have another bone to pick with you? Can you name me your what was it? Who was your center mid again? Your center midfield.
Yuri Tielemans.
Okay.
Then I had Wirtz and Adams.
Okay. I know with you with Adams already. All right. Let's start out with mine. And my goalkeeper, I have Nick Pope.
Okay.
We talked about him in the last video. Like, kind of don't have to explain more. He's been, and you've seen the Newcastle team without Nick Pope, and you saw how bad they were.
Mm-hmm. There was a drop off, and the thing is, like, Karius played pretty well, but I think it's a whole like defensive mindset with him in there compared to someone else.
At my right, I have Trippier. He's
He's gonna have the whole Newcastle defense, huh?
No, that's my last Newcastle player. But Trippier, I think he proved to be the better of himself this season. That's all I have to say. Basically, he creates chances. He's being more of an attacking right back than a defensive right back, which I don't like to see. But with the defense that Newcastle have, it allows him to be more of an attacking right back.
Yeah.
At my right center back, I do have Araujo. I asked you the question, do you think he was the best? He is considered one of the best center backs in the league right now, and you said totally. And I've seen Barcelona play a lot this year, and he's he's one of the reasons they're in first place ahead of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
At my left center back, I have Rudiger. I feel like I don't know if he's proving himself this year, but he made the move to Real Madrid at the age of 28 from Chelsea. I think he was one of the reasons Chelsea was a really good team last year. And to move to Real Madrid at a very old age, considered old because they do have very great center backs that are younger than Rudiger. And he's proven himself to be great in the lineup. And my left back, it hurts to say, but it is Luke Shaw. I do say Luke Shaw is very underrated. I think ever since the Europa League, when he scored that beauty of a goal, I think people saw how great he was, and then kind of like all that hype disappeared.
Yeah.
He's still shown to be the best he could be at the age of, wow, he's only 26.
Yeah, no, he's not ancient yet.
I feel like I've heard about him for a very long time.
Yeah. I think the main thing with Shaw is that early in the season, people thought that Malacia was like the long-term answer and that Shaw was going to ride the bench all season because Malacia was in the lineup against Liverpool. Shaw was in the lineup in that horrible Brentford loss. So people thought that that was like a switch that was just happening right away. And Shaw's been amazing this year. Not to take anything away from Malacia. He's been really good as well. But yeah, Shaw's been probably the best left back in the Premier League.
I kind of went more of a defensive side on the midfield. I'm going to start with my left center mid. I chose Thomas Partey. He really did change the whole midfield of Arsenal. Also with Xhaka, like them two are the defensive side that are keeping Arsenal at that top spot. At the right center mid, I'm gonna wait to see my center mid, my straight center mid. But on my right side, I do have Federico Valverde. I hurts to say, but I do love the way he plays. I hate seeing him in a Real Madrid uniform because I loved him. I loved him seeing him score goals and create chances for Real Madrid, but I hate seeing him in a Real Madrid uniform.
You know the story with Valverde for this season?
What is it?
Ancelotti said if he didn't score 10 goals, he'd retire because that's how confident he was that Valverde was going to make an impact for Real Madrid, and he's already over 10. So, yeah, he's living up to the expectations of the manager and exceeding the expectations of everyone else.
And I love the way he shows the passion he has when he scores goals.
Mm-hmm.
At my center mid, the central of my center midfield and the defensive midfield, I have Edson Alvarez. I feel like he should be part of that struggling Chelsea team. He should be shown that he could be part of a team that's way bigger than Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him play ever since he was in the Mexican League. He dominated the Mexican League. That's why he left to Ajax. And you saw highlights of him a couple days ago. You can say he plays with the passion. He's a very aggressive center defensive mid at such a small size.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we talked about him the other day, and he's so solid, and I really hope he makes the move.
I really hope he does.
Somewhere. Hopefully the Premier League, but
hopefully.
Just somewhere.
Like, I would even love to see him in a United kit, and I'm a City fan.
Yeah, anywhere in the Premier League just would be awesome because I think he's going to shine.
And he will shine because he will dominate the whole league. I feel like Tyler Adams has some competition in there. For my left wing, I have Trossard. Feel like the move to Arsenal was a big help in his career. Feel like no one heard of him besides this year until he moved to Arsenal, and people saw how great he was and the statistics he put up.
Yeah.
With Brighton. At my right wing, it's my new favorite player, and I love to see this. I'm very disappointed I did not put him in my under 21 team, but I do have Jeremy Doku.
Nice.
Jeremy Doku. He's part of the French side, Rennes. I saw the Europa League game against, I think it was Shakhtar, and he was already, I think he played the whole game. I don't know if he did, but he was running his ass off. The speed that he had. I was playing FIFA at the time, and right away when I saw Jeremy Doku, I bought him right away.
He's a baller.
Because he is so excellent. And they just won a game, too, not too long ago. I think it was 2 days ago. And he was the man of the match. He scored the only goal of the game. And I love seeing him on this lineup. And I'm very disappointed I didn't put him in the under 21.
He's what, 20?
He's 20 years old.
He's great.
He's Belgium. He's a Belgium-born player. Hope to see him on the squad, proving himself. And then for my striker, it's very hard to say this because he's not going to be part of the City team. Hopefully, next year. Hopefully he is. I have Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't get enough praise because he's in Haaland's shadow. He was in Messi's shadow for the World Cup. He scored goals in the World Cup. He was one of the reasons they won the World Cup. He replaced Martinez in the World Cup.
Yep. Took his job.
And we saw how different Alvarez and Martinez played because Martinez did not score goals.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like he was just like Lukaku.
I almost put Martinez in my overrated because of just how bad he was in the World Cup. But he's done well for Inter, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, Alvarez.
I'm gonna go through my starting 11. Goalie, I have Nick Pope. Right back, I have Trippier. Left back, I have Luke Shaw. Right center back, I have Araujo. Left center back, I have Rudiger. My center mids are Thomas Partey, Edson Alvarez, and Federico Valverde. My left side is Trossard. My right side is Jeremy Doku, and my striker is Julian Alvarez. Now let me get that bone to pick.
All right.
Get that bone to pick, okay?
All right.
You're disrespecting Irving Lozano, okay? I understand you don't like him because you support the U.S. national team, but to say part of the two of the three main pieces that Napoli have and leave Lozano out. Lozano has been balling this year.
Look, I don't have anything against Lozano. I think he's really good. And yeah, he's been a big part of their success. And I guess that's kind of a reason where he probably could go into an underrated lineup. But I think it's just the level that the two of Osimhen and I'm not going to say his name because I don't butcher it. But I think that's really the main reason is just because of the numbers that they've produced. And again, it's nothing to do with Lozano being bad or anything. I think he's really good. But
he got man of the match last game for now.
I'll give you that.
Get subbed out in the 71st minute, like
one man of the match. That's really good. He's a very good player. He had an assist against Frankfurt in the Champions League. I'll give you that.
just he's on my bench right now.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you him.
Nick Pope was about to get replaced, okay?
Okay.
I had Keylor Navas. I don't care how old he is. I don't care how ancient he is. But I saw the game against Manchester City, and I finally understood why City could not beat Nottingham Forest. When I saw his blonde hair, his bleach-ass hair, I was like, this is why they tied. I saw the highlights because I was at work at the time, but I saw the highlights, and every chance City had, Keylor Navas was the brick wall against them.
It's only because he fell out of favor at Real Madrid because Courtois came in, and then Donnarumma was there at PSG. So he was just this like backup who would play in the cup games, and people kind of forgot that he was a Champions League winner with Real Madrid, and now he comes in at Forest.
Better than both of them, even at this age.
Wow, he's really good. I'll give you that. But those are two of the best goalies in the world. But more power to you. He is a really good goalie.
Courtois does not have the same amount of stats that Keylor Navas has.
Courtois is a really good goalie, but because he was the best goalie in the world for one night, in the Champions League final, then I can't say it makes him overrated because he's still a really good.
He's still really good. Yeah, he's properly rated.
He's here. He's in that top 5. All of a sudden, man of the match, best player on the pitch in the Champions League final, and he's here, and all of a sudden he's up there. It's just but Keylor Navas has been incredible. All right. Well, here are our lineups. Here. See. Look at them. Look at the lineups.
Oh my God! Look. And then here's the underrated.
The editing is getting hard here. Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's about it for us.
Watch. Here's the best player in the world. Boom.
You say the best player in the world?
Full screen. Boom.
Yeah, it's gonna be a picture of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm telling you now.
Oh, we forgot to do the managers.
Oh.
All right. For the underrated manager, I don't know how to say his name. Tuchel? No. He was Chelsea's old manager.
Oh, Tuchel?
Tuchel, yeah.
Yeah, picking a manager who's not even employed. No, yeah, you're right.
And then for the overrated, it's hard to say this. I feel like he's a great manager, but I just feel like getting knocked out. Did he get knocked out of the Champions League?
Not yet. I feel like I know who you're going with.
No, he did. Wait.
He's about to.
No, he didn't. I'm pretty sure he just got knocked out of the. Oh no, he's still there.
Yeah, the second legs haven't been played yet, but I think I know who you're going with.
No, I'm going with Jose Mourinho.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going.
Who do you think I was going with?
We'll get there, because he's mine, the one that I'm thinking of. But yeah, all right.
Oh. Okay, go.
My underrated manager is Thomas Frank from Brentford. He took over in 2018 while they were in the championship. Hadn't been to the Premier League in, I'm not sure if it was ever or just a really long time, but he gets them from the championship. They're a mid-level championship team when he comes in. All of a sudden, they're towards the top, get promoted to the Premier League, and they're pretty solid in the Premier League. They're a respectable mid-level team right now. I think he's a big part of that. When you look at their lineup on paper, it's not amazing. I mean, they have Ivan Toney, they have David Raya, good players, but I think the manager gets a lot out of them. And my overrated manager is Jurgen Klopp. He's done for me. I think the reason that Liverpool are 6th, they're really underperforming, and I think it has a lot to do with the manager because on paper, the team is still really good. Even with the injuries that they've had, the team's still really good. But, yeah, Klopp just has been very okay for me, and that's why he's my overrated manager.
Do you think he's done with Liverpool this year?
I think it depends on how they end because they're 6th. Like, I don't think they're going to make a Champions League spot, but you never know. I think if they get Europa or even maybe Conference League, then he stays. But if they don't get European football, I think he'll be done. Well, that is our overrated and underrated XI. Thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe. If you want to check out our first video, there's going to be a link somewhere around here. It's going to be over there or here. If you want to subscribe, click our thing here or over there, or I don't know how. I'll choose one of them. And yeah. Peace out.
Lucas.